The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyro Media Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
Oh my, hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to season 2 of She is Shenomenal. I am your host, Tasha Champion, the Shenomenal coach, always teaching all of you to love the champion you are. And of course, I'm excited. Of course, I'm thrilled. Of course, I'm just like sitting in gratitude and just such open love and open joy because I can't believe like a year ago today, I was just starting She is Shenomenal. And as I look back on that first day, I was like this, and I was just kind of trying to talk and figure out everything that I was going to say, trying to make sure it was perfect. And it was just so not me for those first couple of episodes because I'm like, girl, you just got to calm down, get it together, and just enjoy what you do. And it's beautiful to see the growth that has happened. So if you are here, if this is your first time, welcome. If this is your second season along with me and you've been here with me since the beginning, thank you for coming back and joining us. I'm really excited about this season. Of course, She is Shenomenal is all about interviewing just incredible women that are doing incredible things. Like when we watch TV or we see things on social media, we see such a small percentage of women that are out in this world shining, that are out in this world making a difference, that's just out in this world trying to change and impact lives. And so I just love the fact that I get to have a little part of that pie and bringing some of those women to light. And I just enjoy sharing the magnificence of Shenomenal women. Is so important to me. So I hope every week you remember to come right back here. So what you should do is just go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share because you're going to meet incredible women along this journey as well. They're going to be women that you might want to connect with. They're going to be women that you want to follow. And it's going to be a lot of beautiful Shenomenal gems and jewels that's dropped here every single week. So be sure to make sure that you join us. Now, last year, when I started this show, I was also in the process of planning my second annual Shenomenal Women's Brunch. So here we are again. The third annual Shenomenal Women's Brunch is coming up. I could not be more honored. We are 2 months away, and I have about 6 tickets left before we are completely sold out. So if you want to be in the building, if you want to be there eating all that delicious food, but more importantly, you want to be there to receive the beauty of my speakers, their knowledge, their power, then you got to get your ticket today. Shenomenal.com/brunch 23. And you can be in the building. It's going to be just absolutely amazing. Ask anybody that's been there the last 2 years. I have a lot of people that have come, and this year they're bringing more people because they want their family, friends, and loved ones to experience what happens inside of that building. So you got to experience it too, okay? It's just so much fun. I also still have the first Shenomenal Women's Retreat coming up in October. This retreat is all about nourishing your soul in your truth. So, this is going to be a beautiful gathering of women in a beautiful space in Palm Springs, California. We are going to really tap into the truth of who we are. How do we plant seeds? How do we awaken things that lie dormant in us that we really want to just do in life? So if you want to be at our retreat with my amazing facilitators, you guys always know I have really, really amazing people behind me. Then you want to make sure, hey, Tish, that's my sister. You want to make sure you are in the building for the Shenomenal retreat. It is October 6th through 8th. And it's going to be just a phenomenal time with all these beautiful Shenomenal women that are coming together. So I hope to see you guys there. Yes, there's the brunch, you guys. Get your tickets because I only have a handful left, but I promise you want to be there. The third year came up really, really fast, and this is the fastest sellout I've ever had. So I'm so incredibly grateful to everyone that has already purchased their tickets. So you got to be there. Okay. Now, I am really excited about today's guest. You guys know we're going to go to a commercial in just a second, but what's so beautiful is I feel like me and my guest, Winter White, today, I feel like it was always in the universe for us to connect. We just had some mutual people in common, and eventually it finally trickled down to us. And I was so honored. I saw her share that she had a book coming out, and I'm like, girl, can you be on my show? I want you to talk about your book. My daughter actually attended an event with her several years ago. So it was always meant for us to circle back and be here in this present moment. And she is all about your passions in life. How do you awaken those passions? How do you live those passions? So we're going to talk about that because there are a lot of people, including myself, for a very long time. I was not connected to a passion. I wasn't connected to like my purpose. And I felt like I was so behind the mark until I was awakened to understand what I was here for. And what I realized is that everybody is in their own journey. So if you haven't discovered your passion, this is the show you want to watch today. You might want to, reach out, call some girlfriends, be like, hey, Winter White is on She Is Shenomenal because she is that Shenomenal woman. And we want to make sure that all of you understand like how you can really tap into your own passions. And she's going to tell y'all how to do that. She is absolutely incredible. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will get our interview started with the beautiful, the passionate Winter White. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Pyro family. Quench your thirst on and off the workout floor with our sizzling partnership with the coldest water. Enjoy an exclusive deal made just for you. Simply scan the frosted QR code with your phone or catch the icy link in the chat for all their chill products. Stay hydrated and make those flames roar. All right, let's get back to the show. Are you ready to take your streaming broadcast, website, or social media visuals up a notch? Pyro Media Productions is here with the perfect solution. From dynamics, design, and professional headshot shoots to family photo ops, they've got all you need for stunning content creation. Check out pyromediaproductions.com today and add that creative flair. Pyro Media Productions, setting brands ablaze since 2017.
All right, we are back again. Thank you for joining us today on the launch of season 2. I'm so happy. All right, we are going to go ahead and bring on the beautiful Miss Winter White. Hi, Winter.
Hello, Tasha. How are you?
I'm so thrilled and I'm so honored to have you. As you and I were kind of talking about it before, and I was just sharing earlier. It's like the universe really conspired to have us here in this moment.
It really did. And this is such a reminder that there is something greater in control, and it just, even before getting on here, I was nervous and, what am I going to say? And it's like that was another reminder. The universe is in control. God is in control. Sit back, relax, right? Because all of the steps have been paved for this moment. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So as you can see, like I didn't do your bio because I really like for my guests to just really talk about who they are. There's no one better to express who you are than you. So tell us, who is Winter White? Tell us about you.
yeah, so I like to say that I am like the Cinderella of coaching and learning and development, in that I really do take a servant leader approach to coaching women and men and helping them find, not only their passions, but get them in alignment with what they want out of life. And the reason why I say Cinderella and a servant leader approach is because it really is about me guiding you in whatever way you need. So it's not a one size fits all approach, but it's definitely, taking a look at how I can be of service to the person that I'm coaching. I have been in learning and development for over 20 years. And so I look at learning and development a little bit different than I look at coaching. Learning and development really has more of a corporate aspect. So I go into companies and I help their employees align with their goals and their visions for development in the future. And so that kind of led me, again, the universe using my career to lead me into coaching. And I got my life coaching certificate about 10 years ago. And, a lot of the two are aligned. With the coaching, I'm more, again, just coaching people one-on-one on their personal lives, and it might align with their professional, and it might not. So but they're both so intertwined. And so with all of that, I have written a book called The Passion Practice, and I'm taking what I've learned in both of those areas in my life and helping people figure out the vision for their own lives.
Beautiful, beautiful. How did you decide like passion was going to be your market? Because of course there's so many different elements of life coaching, but how did
Yeah.
you land on passion? What did that mean to you?
That's such a good question, because when I began, it wasn't like I knew right away. Honestly, it began with me following my own passion of blogging and writing. And I remember that I was in learning and development, but I was in a part of it that was just really boring to me. I was doing a lot of technology training, and I liked the idea of helping and supporting people, but I felt like technology just was not my vibe. And I remember, I'm going to start this blog. I said to myself on a lunch break, I'm going to start this blog, because I had been reading so many people who had started blogs and were now living their dream. And I was going to start it, and it was going to be all about how to throw the perfect party. So it started out, it was called Weekends with Winter, and I was going to help people figure out how to throw fabulous parties through this blog. And I wanted to stay connected to the blog and not let it just, fall by the wayside once I lost interest. So I read a book on following your passions. And that book just took me on this journey of discovery about what passion is and what it isn't. And slowly, as I started to find out about passion from the blog, I became a life coach. From the life coaching, I started doing workshops. From the workshops, I started doing a YouTube channel, and it just sprouted. And then finally, now here we are with my book. And so in that journey of starting things and figuring out, what I'm good at, and all of that, I'm by following my own passions, I'm now here to help people figure out what theirs are.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think sometimes people feel a sense of shame and or guilt when they
Hmm.
don't know their passion. And I say that from experience, right? what do you do to help them understand that, yes, there are some people that know their passions early on. Maybe their parents poured into them a different way to help them, know what their passions were. But what do you say to
Mm.
someone to help them understand, listen, everybody doesn't know this and it's okay.
God, I wish that I had that specific insight when I was younger, at what you just said. And so what I would say to them is that what we've been told about passion has been all wrong all these years. This is what I have learned. I have been taught, or I was taught, that your passion is something that you want to turn into a profit, right? It's something that a task driven activity that you could do without getting tired. And, you want to make it your life's mission and your work, right?
Mhm.
Um, and we've been sold this idea that we have to figure it out. We have to go out and we have to find it. Um, and for some people, their passion is their work, right? Those people, amen to them, like bless them, like that's amazing. But it's not like that for everyone.
Right.
Really, what I say to people is passion is whatever sets your soul on fire and makes you feel fulfilled. And that can be so many other things than tasks. That can be the people that you spend your time with. That can be um, traveling. That can be cooking. That can be where you see yourself living. Your home can be your passion. And also, one of the biggest things that people should know is your passions change. Just like you change and you evolve, your passions evolve and they change. So I would say for the person struggling to start thinking about, when do you feel the most invigorated, or what do you need the most? What is sometimes it's rest. Sometimes passion is, I'm getting a lot of self-care and rest to re-energize, right? So that can be a passion. So
Yeah.
start asking yourself, what do you need? What invigorates you? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that you said it's not always tied to an income, because I
Yeah.
do believe that so many of us, like, we try to find our passions for that purpose, and it's not
Yeah.
always that. Um, and I also hear a lot, there are some people that just go, I just don't think I'm passionate about anything,
Yeah.
anything. So how can they awaken that? Because, like you said, it might be passionate about just your self-care. It doesn't always have to be
Yeah.
tied to money, but there are
Yeah.
a lot of people, and I hear it on a regular basis. It's like, I just don't feel like I'm passionate about anything. I don't know what I like. What are they seeing incorrectly? Or what perspective are they taking? I don't want to say it's right or wrong. So what perspective are they
Yeah.
taking?
I think it's more about being self-reflective. One of the things that I do at my workshops is I have a series of questions that I ask people, just to get their minds thinking about what it could be that they're passionate about, right? So, like I said, sometimes we feel like we have to figure out our own passions, like, oh, I have to go and seek it. But passion is actually telling you what it is and all of the things around you. So, you just
Mm,
have to be a little self reflective and open your mind up to passion. So, one of the things that I ask those folks at my workshop is, when do you get a runner's high? What activities give you a runner's high? So if you need to know what a runner's high is, it's that time when a runner is running and it's like they feel euphoric, right?
mhm.
They feel just at their best. They feel like, I am completely in line with what I love to do. So what gives you a runner's high? Another question that I ask is, when you were younger, what did you envision yourself being, or what did you want to be? A lot of times when we were younger, that is where we were our truest self, before the world came in and told us, you can't do that. Well, you have to look like this, or you have to have this, whatever the world tells us to keep us back from feeling like we can, do something. So what did
Mhm.
you want to do when you were younger? Because sometimes that still is a part of your passion. So there are
Right.
just some questions that you can ask yourself, and those two are where I start. And the last one, I have to mention this one, because especially for people who feel like their passion has to be task driven, I
Right.
always ask, like, if you had to make a homemade gift for someone, what would you make? A homemade gift comes from the heart. A homemade gift comes from your talent, from something that you would give to uplift someone else. So sometimes taking the focus off of you and what you enjoy, that can help you figure out your passion.
That's awesome. I really like that you said our passions really are all around us. Like it can
Mhm.
reveal itself to you because I remember being a child, all I wanted to do was sing and dance. Just get me on a stage with a microphone. Like that is what I wanted. And so all of the visions that I had of myself on a stage with a microphone, I only tied that to singing.
Yeah.
And I also remember like watching talk shows, and I just loved those that came on to help people feel alive, those that came on to help people discover like why they were here or to help them through a problem. Like I was so drawn to the Iyanlas and
Yeah.
um, people like her. And then I always did customer service because I loved helping people. I had
Mm.
no idea that all these little bits of things that I was doing was really awakening me to my passion. And eventually, when it was revealed to me, I was able to step into that. And then I would go on to learn the vision of me being on stage with a microphone was not tied to singing, it was tied to speaking. So I love that you said like your passions are there and
Yeah.
sometimes you tap in.
And you have to just get quiet sometimes and reflect. And I just feel like we have a kinship because all of those things that you said you enjoyed when you were younger were exactly what I enjoyed. I thought that I
Wow.
wanted to be a dancer and a singer and an actress. I actually come from a family of performers. And so at a young age, even my mom growing up, she was involved in drama and she was an actress. And so that has always been a part of my life in some way. And I feel like that obviously took a little bit of a turn as I grew, but there's still aspects of that are at play in my life, right? I still have to get up in front of an audience and help facilitate, training sessions. And I'm still connecting with people through coaching. And, so it's like aspects of that are still at play and you can see them in my life. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I see my mom. Hi, mommy. She loved to talk. Yes, I did and still do. Let me be clear. Yes, I loved to talk as a child and I still love to talk as an adult. Yes, that has not changed. But how when did you realize that those little things in your life was helping you develop your passion? Because of course we
Mm,
see so many things, it's like, oh, I just like to do that, oh, it's just
yeah.
something that's fun for me. But when did you start to realize like, wait a minute, this is all coming together like in my heart, it's all something that I love?
It didn't really, I didn't connect the dots until I did that reflective exercise and asked myself those questions that I said, before.
Mhm.
What did I want to be when I grew up, right? If I had a homemade gift, what would I give, to someone? What gives me a runner's high? And when I really thought about those things and I was self reflective about those things, I could connect the dots between what I loved when I was a child and what I do currently. But it wasn't until really, I say self reflection so much because a lot of times we are out looking outside of us for answers and we're turning to people and we're turning and looking at other people's lives and comparing ourselves between us and them, and a lot of the answers are already within you. It's
Yes.
just up to you to get quiet and reflective enough to put the thoughts together,
Yeah.
right? And it's fine to get inspired by people, even the things that you're inspired by. Why are you inspired by them? The things
Mhm.
that you may be envious of, why are you envious? Like there's always a message that I feel that can be that you can grasp from outside of yourself, from the messaging that you're getting, from the things that you continue to experience, that can lead you and help you connect the dots, but you have to get quiet.
Yes, I I feel like you're talking through me because I'm like, she's just like repeating the things that I tell people, which is it's just it's so true though. Like if you can just really quiet yourself, get out
Yeah.
of the comparison, ask yourself, why are you comparing yourself to that person? What is it that you see? Because you might just really be seeing a reflection of something you want to do or something you love. Or I tell people sometimes you're disliking people because it's a part of you that needs to heal, and seeing a
Yeah.
reflection in them is part of that. So
Yeah.
I really take heed to what you're saying, what you're putting out there, because it's beautiful. Now tell
Mhm.
us about your book. How did this book come
Yeah.
to be? What does this book mean? Why do we need to order this book from Winter?
Gosh. So can I show you the book?
Yes, of course.
I have it right here. I'm so proud of it.
It's
Um,
beautiful.
so it's called The Passion Practice. Aside from it just being such a gorgeous book, I
It is
mean,
gorgeous.
it's so beautiful. What I love about it and what I think people will love about it is that aside from just the beauty, what this book is what I feel like I had to find in every little thing. Like I had to go and find a journal, right? When I was doing my self reflection, I had to go out and I had to buy a journal. I had to go out and I had to buy a calendar so that I could make all of my, appointments with myself and keep up with my passions. I had to go out and do the vision board. And sometimes it was like the vision board, because I'm not very artistic, didn't look really good. So I would like hide it, away because it didn't look as pretty as I wanted it. So I had to go out and get all of these outside things in order to figure out my passion and to live a passionate life. Well, I've put all of those things in this workbook. It's a workbook, number one, and it encompasses all of those things that will help you find your passion. There are activities in the form of journal entries, in the form of vision board exercises with writing prompts to help you visualize your life. There is a calendar so that you can make your passion appointments and keep and hold yourself accountable to doing the things that you love. There is a create page for people to write poetry, for people to draw, for you to do whatever it is that you want to do on that page, whatever create means to you.
Mm.
And so this book is great because it's not me telling you how to think or what to do. It's you getting, like I said, quiet and self-reflective and writing your own journey. I don't look at it as a self-help book in the traditional sense. It's
Right.
really self-help because you yourself are helping yourself.
You're
I'm
doing the
not,
work.
there aren't chapters in here telling you what to think or how to do it. It really is just that act of getting quiet and aligning yourself with what you set your intentions to be. So that's why I think it's such a great book. And when you're done, you will have written your passion journey. Like when you are done with this book, you can put it on your coffee table. And I feel like your friends and family will be like, oh my God, that's a beautiful book. And open it and see how you've created this beautiful vision for your life.
Yeah, because that book is pretty thick. So
Yeah.
you're definitely taking a deep dive and giving yourself important time and space. Like if
Yeah.
you don't feel so rushed, like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up. I gotta really figure this out. Winter, what do you feel is an age appropriate? Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
What age range would you start someone on this book? Like if it's a mother and they're like, oh my gosh, I have a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old, like what age range would you say this is a great book to introduce?
I love this question. I love it so much because I'm a new mother. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I will give her this book as soon as she can pick up a pen and write and
Mm,
comprehend. Um, and let me tell you why. Because I have actually taken this book or taken my workshop and like I said, all the extra materials that I had to always create and bring in order to do these exercises into middle schools and
mhm.
have shared these practices with kids who've struggled with their behavior and with different challenges in as early as 6th grade.
Wow.
And it was a huge success. I have taken this book into high school programs for kids who are just entering high school and going off to college, and brought these practices in, and they have been a huge success, and setting them up for, success, not only, in their lives, but feeling successful within and getting intentional and clear about what success looks like. So I think as soon as your child, and only, parents will know their children when they're ready, but I think as soon as they can comprehend and understand, set them on this journey, because these are questions that we should be asking as early as possible. I wish that I had these questions posed to me. I wish I had activities to think about like this when I was young.
Right. Okay. So this is leading me into my next question. I'm going to give you the question, and you can think about it as we go to commercial break, and then we'll answer when we come back. So it's a little 2-part question.
Okay.
What are some ways that parents can cultivate a child's passion? Like help them, discover it, help them bring it forward. But also, how can a parent make sure that they are not projecting their passions onto the child as the child's passion? Okay.
I love
So we're going to take perfect. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be back with Winter White. Thank you guys for joining, but we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I am chatting with Winter White. I'm just going to go ahead and call her the Passion Queen, because she is all about not only helping you to discover your passion, but how do you live that passion? Because truth be told, us living out our passion is really what we should do on earth. And like she said, it doesn't have to be tied to money or a task. It could just be, you know what, I want to make sure I rest. Whatever it is, you have a responsibility to bring your own passions to light and decide what that looks like, right? So before we went to commercial break, I was asking, how can parents really help their children cultivate their passions? And also, how do we as parents not project our own passions? Maybe it's something that we didn't live out loud like we thought we would. And how do we make sure we're not putting that on our children as this is your passion?
I love this question. And it's one that I constantly ask myself, because as a parent, we want to get it right, so I so empathize with parenthood and wanting to get it right. And so I'm going to first say that there is no foolproof anything, right? I'm going to give you some suggestions. Try on what works. Be open to many different suggestions. release yourself from feeling like you have to get it exactly right. But with that said, helping your children find their passions, they are going to see and look at you and how you react to your passions. So how are you living out your passion? We are our biggest, what we do is our biggest teacher to our kids, right? And so for me, one of my biggest passions is helping people find their passion. I want my daughter to see me doing things like this podcast. That, you know, I want my daughter to see me having this book and having book signings. And I want her to see me journaling in the morning and getting up early, you know, to do the things that I love before I have to start work. So it's really, you live your life in a passionate way, and you are going to be inadvertently showing your children how to live a passionate life. Especially if that's important for you. If you want them to know how to live a passionate life, then you yourself have to do that. And to your second question, you know, how do we not push our passions on our children? It's kind of hard, right? But what I will say is experiences. Tell them about what you love. Like I said, my parents were performers, and it was just going to be impossible for my daddy not to put me in front of a camera. And I remember it to this day. I was terrified, and make me sing a Janet Jackson song because that was my favorite artist. And so he put me in front of the camera and he was like, "You're going to sing this song." And I was like, I can't. No, you have to get over that stage fright. And he's pushing me and he's pushing me. And I still remember it to this day, right? And I know now, you know, after being mortified, that it was out of love and because that's what he was passionate about. And now I can look back and I can say, that probably did help me get out of, you know, my own way and feeling nervous and all of that. It's okay to teach them about your passions, but expose them to other things too. Experience is going to be huge. So not only, you know, if you have a passion for dance, if you have a passion for, you know, theater, exposing them to that, but then what are some other, like, expose them to the science museum, expose them to other things that, you know, may not be in line with what you're passionate about. But it's all about exposure and different experiences.
Beautiful. I love that. I absolutely said he was pushing you. Nope, just get on the camera, get on camera. And that's not everybody. Like my sister to this day, every time I'm doing something, she's like, I don't know how she's doing that because I'm just not shy. She's more shy. You're not getting ready to get her on a stage or have her on camera or anything like that. So I totally understand. And I really wanted to make sure that I gave my kids the opportunity to self-express in their own way. Like my oldest son, who's 20, he completely embodied every superhero that he liked. You could not tell him he wasn't Spider-Man, so I didn't tell him he wasn't Spider-Man.
Right.
You know, like he thought he was Ben 10, so hell, I thought he was Ben 10 because he really embodied that. And I feel like you can answer this as well. How can we stop ignoring our children's passion? So you children that'll say their wildest dreams, and then a parent will say something like, oh my God, get your head out of the clouds. No, you need to have your head in the books. It's like, it's almost like we don't know how to balance education and dreams. So what are things that parents can do to honor these wild dreams that their kid could be having, but still understanding like, yeah, school is still important, but so is what they feel?
Wow, that's a really good question. And for me, I have to let go of this feeling that I can somehow control what my daughter is going to do in the future. This is my daughter's life. All I can do is be a guide, right? And be a support and be there for her. And for me, what is more important than what she will end up doing for a profession is that she's a happy, kind, good person. And so for me, that is more important than going, you know, getting a specific job or go. I want that for her, obviously. Right. But at some point, I know I will have to let go. So giving her the skills to figure it out herself, right? Again, exposure and helping them to be self-reflective, helping them to be centered, helping them to really understand what they value. Because when you know what you value, when you know what you want out of life, that's going to help guide you. But if
Yes.
you don't know and you're searching in things that, are giving you a false sense of what's important, then you're going to continue to kind of struggle. So how can we as parents be good guides to help them listen to their own spirits and their own selves, help them be self-reflective and expose them? So I think that's kind of the 3-step process, right? It's and it may not be in order or all at once. It's self-reflection, exposure, and just letting them kind of guide themselves through their own values.
Right, right. I think it's just so important because I know, especially like generations obviously change. So I think
Yeah.
our generation, it was all about like the college push, college push, college push. This new
Yes.
generation is like, yeah, I'm not ready to go, so I'm not going, or I'm gonna take this gap year, or I need to find out what I like before I go. And so I like that we're starting to see the evolvement of it's not just about work, but what am I really passionate about? And if you find what you're passionate about, how can you turn that into a business or something
Yeah.
lucrative if you so desire? Because every passion,
Yeah.
like you said, doesn't lead down to, oh, I got to make money off of this.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love that you said that about the gap year, because Tasha, if I had a gap year back when I was in college, I would have saved myself so many loans. I just
Mm,
didn't need to take out. I would have saved myself so many years of school that I wasted because I thought it was what I was supposed to do. That's what I
mhm.
was told was the next progression after high school. But had I taken that gap year, had I taken that pause, I probably would have been a little more prepared for the future and hadn't stumbled in so many ways with so many jobs that were dead ends, and racked up debt only to figure out I was going about it wrong, So, and there's so many different ways now to, I am in no way saying that college is not important. I think
Right.
now, depending upon, your socioeconomic lifestyle and all of that, all of those factors, college may be the right choice, right? But there are so many other ways of progressing and being successful in this world. So being open to that and being inquisitive about that and understanding that there's not just one path that someone has to take to be successful.
Right, right. I definitely can appreciate you saying that because I know for me, like I'm not that parent that was over involved in my kids' education in terms of like, are they getting A's? Are they getting A's? And
Yeah.
truth be told, I really wish even then I hadn't pushed that so much. Like, oh, if he got a C, he's obviously not doing his best because maybe a C is really his best. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to pull back. And again, I also wasn't that parent that was just like, it's college or nothing. It's college or nothing. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you want to do? However,
Yeah.
I do teach my kids, even right now, as they're young, like, you still have to build a skill set of something.
Yeah.
You can have your passion, but your passion might not be funding your life yet. So
Yeah.
you still need to develop and have a skill set. And I agree. Like sometimes kids need to find that out in that gap year from
Yeah.
high school to college. Now, speaking of high school students,
Yeah.
what are some ways that parents, because there are kids that want to take that gap year, there are kids that want to go straight to it, there are kids that are still really discovering themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some ways that parents, with their junior, senior year of their children that are they're in their junior or senior year, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
how can they really help their child discover their passion? And like you said, it changes. So we're not saying
Yeah.
like, okay, this is your passion. It's got to be your passion for life. But how can we just awaken that so that these children
Mm-hmm.
are learning more about themselves even before they get into college?
Gosh, I think that especially at that age, children are sponges. And a lot of times they don't want to necessarily hear what their parents have to say. you know, you don't
Right.
understand life, mom and dad. You don't know
Exactly.
what it feels like, when I was growing up, I felt that a little bit about that with my mom. And one of the things that I always had that I felt helped me to get through those moments, and kept me on a good path and helped me to, want more for my life, and gave me an outlet, was that I had mentors in my life. I had people who, I looked up to, who were living, the life that I thought was really cool, whether it was aunts or my mom's friends. And I was able to confide in them and ask them for direction. So I would ask parents, especially if your child, you know, doesn't necessarily see you as, the person that they can necessarily go through, or maybe they don't feel like you understand. Who are some people that you can align them with? What are some programs that you can align them with to give them, some kind of experience or outlook on what life can be like, to be able to express themselves, to be able to get some guidance. Because sometimes it doesn't always have to come through us. Right? When they say it takes a village, like, there are villages out there, if you research and look into them, that can really help and guide. Experience, to me, I will say it over and over, and I'll probably sound like a broken record, but experience really is so important when you're trying to figure out what you want out of your life. So the more experiences that you can give them, the more people that you can introduce them to, the more mentors, trusted people that they can have in their lives, the more your mind opens up. Don't feel, parents, like it all has to come down to you. Use your village, use your people, and with the information coming at us so fast and having all of these outlets like, social media and all of that, there are so many things you can find online even to help guide them, so just be open to experience.
Yeah. And be open to the fact that their dreams don't have to look like yours.
Yes.
They don't need to look like yours. And
Yes.
don't be afraid of your child's dreams, even if you don't know
Yeah.
how they're going to reach it.
Yes.
Just let them be in their dream, because they will figure it out. If it's their passion, if it's their dream, like, they'll figure it out. So, but that's one thing I really want parents to understand, is like, hey, your child is so different from you, and
Yeah.
it's okay. They're supposed to be different from you. And they
And you
need
know what I
to
will
be
say
limited.
too? No, 100%. You know what I also do that I have to find, that I find myself doing even with my daughter, is I have to ask myself, where is my own, um, block with this? Like, why is this coming up for me when it comes to my daughter? Like, why does this anger me? Why does this frustrate me? Why does this make me anxious? Like, all of those feelings. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with my child. It has to do with my own fears, my own blocks, and things that I have to work through.
Right.
I think our kids are our biggest teachers. We feel like we have to teach them and guide them. And one of the main things that I've learned about parenthood is that my daughter's actually my biggest teacher.
They teach you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
teach you so much.
Yeah.
Tell us about weekends with Winter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh gosh, it's my blog, and I still post there. What started off as, these blog posts about this is how you make a really cool charcuterie board, has turned into really my attempt at helping people live like it's the weekend 7 days a week. Because I have been in that position where I had a job that I dreaded, going into on a Monday. And so through my blog, I try to help and inspire people to live their lives like it's the weekend 7 days a week. So that means, whether that's a really cool restaurant that I just checked out and I really think you should try it, or a really great book that I'm reading, or, some things that I'm really interested in, or just scenes from my life that may inspire people to go out and try something new. That blog is really, like my diary of what I feel can inspire you to live like it's the weekend 7 days a week.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is that also a part of your coaching? Like, do you do one-to-one or is it just group coaching? Like, tell us about your coaching for someone that's out there that's like, oh my gosh, I need her to help me discover my passion. What do they need to do to get in touch
Yeah.
with you?
So if you wanted to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at weekendswithwinter@gmail.com. I do one-on-one coaching. I do workshops. I do it all. You can also go to Weekends with Winter on Instagram, Facebook, and for the passion practice, I now have a Instagram page called The Passion Practice, and you can go there for some of my really quick inspirational, passion tips and tools and all of that. So those are all places you can get in touch with me. I'm very responsive. Like I said, I do one-on-one. We can do it through Zoom, depending upon where you are. I'm in the California area. I've done it live. I just really absolutely love both forms. I have even had someone hire me to come in for their 40th birthday party and do a workshop for their girlfriends for a brunch. And it was so much fun. There were so many breakthroughs. So it can be as formal, informal, one-on-one as you'd like. I'm a
Beautiful.
servant leader, so it's whatever you need.
Yes. Close us out with
Yeah.
a message to everyone out there about their
Mm.
passions. I'm going to let you have the floor, but what is that message that you want to tap into everyone else's hearts about passion?
Hmm. You feel like you are on the search for your passion, but in reality, passion is waving, yelling, trying to get your attention. So think about the books that you read. Why do you love those kinds of books? The music that you listen to, what kinds of lyrics draw you in? All of those are messages from passion. So get quiet and just allow passion to tell you what it is.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, there's just nothing left to be said. I love that. I'm so incredibly grateful. Matter of fact, hold on. Before we go, I have to let you guys know. So in my book, Shenomenal Women, another reason why the universe just really was bringing me and Winter together. So in the book, Shenomenal Women, one of my co-authors, Danielle Beal, she really talks about, her chapter was about the women that came along in her life when she needed them. And it was at every stage of her life. And so she says, I lived in my car with my 6-week-old baby until a friend reached out to me, learned of my circumstances, and invited me to live with her and her mother until I could get on my feet. I lived with them for some time. I was enthralled to witness a Black single mother and her incredibly beautiful and outspoken daughter. I saw their relationship ebb and flow. I saw them love each other and be a team. My friend's mother cooked the most amazing meals for us. She would also spend her last bit of money to treat us to nice dinners at fancy restaurants. We got dressed, went out, ordered drinks, and ate oysters. I had never experienced this before. There wasn't some fancy occasion. It was just an opportunity for her to share a meal with us because she wanted to. My friend and her mother were surrounded by good friends and laughter and pure joy. She showed me how to experience life, eat delicious food, see the beauty around me, and to enjoy others' company. I watched these beautiful Black women laugh, love, and be wholly honest with each other. It was the first time I had seen the beauty in such a relationship. And that was about you and your mother.
Yeah.
What was that feeling when you read that and learned, like, oh my God? And it was such, when she told me it was you and your mom, I'm like, I told her back then, I'm like, I think we're gonna meet each other at some point. It's gotta be. But I
Yeah.
thought that was so beautiful. So incredibly beautiful.
I cried. I'm trying not to cry right now. Um, just see yourself reflected back in your friend, in someone else, in such a beautiful way. when to me it's just how we live our lives, not thinking that it's anything special, not thinking that it's anything different than what other people do, but that it made such a mark on her. I don't think there are words adequate enough to explain how moved and grateful that I am to have that reflection back to me. It makes me just really grateful for my life and my experiences, and I'm filled with so much just gratitude to hear that. Yeah.
It was beautiful, but I thought it was such a perfect opportunity to actually bring that up, because earlier you were talking about, like, in parents talking to their teenagers, that sometimes you got to let them get it from other people, like allow that village. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, she would say that at such a perfect time, because you and your mother were that village for her. And
Yeah.
I think it's so incredibly beautiful. And that's something that you get to show your daughter, like what it's like just to care for people, not for anything in return, but just
Yeah.
genuinely be there. And little did you guys know, you were teaching her so much along the way and about motherhood.
Thank you so much for reading that, Tasha. It really just, yeah, it really gets me in the feels, and it reminds me that this is really full circle. So yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Winter, it has been a pleasure to
Thank
chat with
you.
you. I know that the universe again brought us together. My mom says, I totally remember that specifically in the book, Shenomenal Women. It touched me deeply. Yes, it's a testament to, hello, my beautiful daughter. She's watching. It just shows, it's a testament of what we can do as women when we come together with just an open heart space. Nothing
Yeah.
that was like, well, I did this for you, you got to do this for me. Like, it's just an open heart space, and we create the village that we get to be inspired by and from. So it was so beautiful. But again, I know you and I will officially meet in
Can't
person
wait. I can't
soon.
wait. Can't wait. I
Yes, but
can't
it
wait.
has really been a pleasure to learn from you today and to be inspired by you and your journey. And I thank you for being my guest
Thank
today.
you.
You are such a phenomenal woman.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining. I will see you guys next week. I'll be chatting with Camille Talicia as she prepares to launch her show, Camille Over Chai, and she is a life and human design strategist. So you don't want to miss that episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys next week. Have a beautiful Shenomenal week.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Pyro Media Network's YouTube channel for more awesome content. Plus, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or upload new videos. Visit pyromedianetwork.com today, not just to check out our incredible roster of talented creatives, but also to gain access to exclusive bonus material available only to our Pyro fam. Show your support for this Black-owned indie network by donating today. Help us keep igniting brands everywhere.